People always say a single dinner can change your life. I never believed it, until the night my coworker tricked me into having dinner at her place and then introduced me to her parents as her boyfriend. If you're listening right now, don't skip this part, because what happened next is the reason this story still keeps me awake some nights. And before we dive deeper, if you love stories that hit the heart, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you never miss the next one. Now, let me take you back to where it all began. My name is Armin, and I'm the kind of guy people don't usually notice in the office. I do my work, keep to myself, and go home. But there was one person I could never ignore, Aisha. She was the kind of coworker who walked into a room and suddenly everything felt brighter. Confident, calm, always smiling, and somehow understanding everyone without saying much. We worked in the same department but hardly talked beyond, "Could you pass me the file?" or "Good morning." One Thursday afternoon, she walked over to my desk with a strange seriousness on her face. Before I could even ask what was wrong, she said, "Armin, can you come with me after work? I need your help with something important." I should have asked questions. I should have been careful. But the moment she asked with those worried eyes, I just nodded. "Sure, anything you need." After work, she insisted we take her car. I thought maybe she needed to pick something up from the grocery store or handle some errand. But the route we took didn't look familiar. We drove into a quiet neighborhood filled with small houses and warm lights glowing behind curtains. "Aisha, where are we going?" I asked, half confused, half nervous. She took a breath. "My place." I blinked. "Your place? Why?" She didn't answer. She just whispered, "Please, just trust me." We stopped in front of a small house painted soft blue, with a garden full of marigolds. She looked at me for a long moment before walking toward the door. "One more thing," she said quietly. "Please, don't freak out." The door opened before I could ask what she meant. Her parents rushed out with warm smiles like they had been waiting all evening. And then it happened. Aisha grabbed my arm tightly and said, "Ami, Abu, this is my boyfriend." My heart jumped into my throat. Boyfriend. Me. I looked at her, shocked, but she squeezed my hand so hard I knew something serious was going on. Her mother's face lit up like it was Eid night. Her father nodded as if approving me already. And I stood there frozen, wondering how I ended up in the middle of someone else's personal crisis. Inside, the house felt warm, welcoming, almost too welcoming for a lie this big. Aisha stayed close to me, answering most questions before I even had the chance to open my mouth. Her parents asked about my job, my family, how long we'd been seeing each other, and what my intentions were. Each time, Aisha cleverly filled in the blanks. What confused me most was why a girl like Aisha, who seemed strong and confident, would need to pull something like this. Who needs a fake boyfriend in front of their parents? The moment her parents stepped into the kitchen to bring tea, I finally whispered, "Aisha, what is going on? Why did you tell them that?" She looked down at her hands, eyes trembling. I didn't know what else to do. They've been pressuring me for months about marriage. They even set up a proposal meeting for this weekend. I panicked, told them I already had someone, and today they said they wanted to meet you. I didn't have time. I didn't have anyone else I trust. I wasn't angry anymore. I was just stunned. A girl who barely talked to me trusted me enough to bring me into her home and lie to her family. Part of me wanted to walk away, this wasn't my problem. But another part of me saw the fear in her eyes, and something inside refused to abandon her. "Okay," I whispered back. "I'm here. I'll help you." The relief on her face was so sincere it made my chest tighten a little. Dinner started awkwardly. Her parents kept giving us knowing smiles, talking about how rare good-hearted men were these days, how happy they were that their daughter chose someone responsible. I never realized how heavy a lie could feel until I was inside one. But then something unexpected happened. As the evening continued, the conversation shifted from polite questions to deeper stories. Her father talked about his struggles raising a family on a small income. Her mother spoke about her dreams that she put aside so her children could study. I watched Aisha listening with soft eyes, and for the first time that night, I realized this fake relationship had brought me into something real, something fragile and meaningful. And slowly, something inside me softened. After dinner, her parents gave us space, smiling knowingly again. Aisha and I sat in the small living room, the soft glow of the lamp brushing her face. "Thank you," she said quietly. "I know this is crazy. I shouldn't have pulled you into it." "You were scared," I said. "I get it." She looked at me differently after that. Like seeing me for the first time. When her parents finally slept, we sat outside on the small porch. For the first time since I'd known her, she opened up. She told me about her dreams, her fears, the pressure of being the eldest daughter, the expectations she struggled to fulfill. And as she talked, I realized she wasn't the confident girl everyone saw in the office. She was a human being carrying too much weight on her shoulders. By the time I left her house, the lie felt less like a burden and more like a bond. A strange one, yes, but a bond nonetheless. The next morning at work, things felt different. She brought me coffee, something she'd never done before. She laughed more freely around me. Every now and then, she would glance at me with a small, grateful smile. But the problem wasn't solved. Her parents wanted to meet my family next. They wanted an engagement date. The lie was now a mountain rolling toward us, and eventually, it would crush everything. I suggested telling the truth. She shook her head. "They'll lose trust in me. They'll think I'm irresponsible. I don't want to hurt them." Days turned into weeks. We kept pretending, at first for her parents, then strangely, for ourselves. The line between lie and reality blurred. The way she looked at me, the way she held my arm on the walk to her gate, it didn't feel fake anymore. One evening, her father called me privately. He said, "Son, I've seen many people, but very few with the sincerity you have. If my daughter chose you, I know she chose right. Just promise me you'll take care of her." Those words hit me so deeply I couldn't breathe for a second. I felt like I was betraying the trust of a man who genuinely believed in me. I knew things couldn't continue like this. That night, I went to Aisha's house. She looked surprised to see me with such seriousness. We sat down, and I took a deep breath. "Aisha, we can't keep lying to them. They believe in us. They believe in me. And they deserve the truth." Her eyes watered, and for the first time, I wondered if she was crying because she feared hurting her parents, or because she feared losing me. She nodded silently. Together, we called her parents to the living room. Aisha held my hand so tightly it almost hurt. She explained everything, how the pressure overwhelmed her, how she panicked, how she lied, and how I only helped because she asked. Her mother sighed heavily. Her father was quiet for a long time. My heart hammered, waiting for anger, disappointment, something explosive. But instead, her father said softly, "You made a mistake. But you told the truth. And that matters more than the lie." Aisha broke down crying, apologizing again and again. Her mother hugged her, promising that no dream or timeline was worth her daughter's happiness. Then her father looked at both of us and said something that changed everything. "But tell me one thing, do you two really not feel anything for each other? Watching you tonight, it didn't look fake." Aisha froze. I froze. The air hung heavy with unsaid truths. And then Aisha looked at me, really looked at me, and whispered, "I don't know when it stopped being fake." Everything inside me shifted. I took her hand gently. "Me neither." Her parents smiled softly, as if they already knew. The lie that brought us together had finally become the truth we were too afraid to admit. And that night, when I walked her home, she held my hand not because she had to, but because she wanted to. If you're still watching this, remember, sometimes life doesn't go according to plan. Sometimes we make mistakes, take wrong turns, tell lies out of fear. But the important part is choosing honesty when it matters, because honesty has the power to turn even the strangest circumstances into something beautiful. And if this story touched your heart even a little, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that love sometimes finds us in the most unexpected ways.